Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Well, it's after Christmas now. It's New Year's Day. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everybody. Haven't done any work in the shop at all over the holidays because I've been sick. And I'm hoping I don't cough in your ear too much, but I probably will, so apologize in advance. But what I'm working on today, I'm probably going to start putting together the air compressor again. Now, where's my bag? Here it is. Still waiting on one part, but I'm going to do it without the part. Got the new rod right there. And I've got 3 out of 4 gaskets. One gasket. Oh, different colors. Never noticed that, but this gasket's on back order, and that's the base gasket. But being that it is just a fabric gasket, I think I'm just going to use some RTV on the bottom, and I should be able to get away with that. So now first things I need to do is get some gloves on, I guess. This isn't going to be... Hey cat. Hey, 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 hey. Say hi to the camera. Say hi. Troublemaker cats. But as I was saying, first thing I need to do to get this together is to clean up the crank where the aluminum rod melted to the crank. Now I'm not sure what the best process for that is. I don't know if you can see on there, this whole surface has some aluminum stuck to it, so I need to polish that all off in some way. So I'll do that first, and then we'll carry on with the next step. I'm just going to do a fast forward video, and I'll turn the sound down, so I'm probably going to be using air tools. I'm just going to use some of these roll lock pads, and these ones are wore out ones, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to get rid of this stuff. So let's see what happens. Sorry about the air compressor in the background, but you can see that that worked pretty good. Didn't really take any of the crank material off. All I did was take the aluminum off that was left deposited by the spun rod, and that worked a lot better than I expected. Now if this was an engine, I don't know if I would do that, but I think we'll be alright for the air compressor. So next step. Now the new rod did not come with that little splasher thing. This guy. So I'm going to have to make, I'll probably make 2 new ones. And I can use this as maybe the pattern here. I'm not sure how much clearance. Some of the rods and air compressors, instead of having this flimsy metal piece, they just have a bar sticking out the bottom. But I think I'm going to stick with this route. And I'm also going to need to find another screw. Or do I have it here? I should still have it. Not sure. Well, I'm going to make 2 of these, and then we'll be back. Actually, before I do anything, let's just check how this chow rod fits. Oh yeah, that fits good. think she'll be all right, folks. Be nice to get the big air compressor back into service. That's for sure. This rod is obviously worn, but voila. Two good rods. The only difference, top's a little bit different as well, but for a cheap Chinese compressor, what do you expect? So I'm going to make two more of these, or I'll make two of these, and I'll be back once I get those done. Alright, well I got two new pieces built right there. Now I'm going to put them on. Well, I got to bend them first, and then I'll put them on. I'm going to make sure and use some red thread lock on the screws to hold them on, and then I'm going to have to go look at the breakdown to see which way the splashers went, because I can't remember from taking it apart which direction they're supposed to go through the oil. So I'm going to get these bent up first, then we'll get them bolted on, and then I'll have to go and take a look at the parts breakdown. Okay, I got them both bent up. I used some heat to keep it from hopefully weakening, but maybe that was a bad idea. So hopefully I won't be rebuilding this sucker again. So now I'm going to make sure, yeah, screw fits. Throw some red permanent thread lock on it. I don't use this stuff too often. Most of the times I don't want to have things permanent, but and the hole's a little tight, but it should thread through anyhow. And then I can fold the other piece over once, because this was bent down as well. Once this thing is thread lock is, oh, there goes my mic. Hopefully this mic's helping out a bit for sound. But as I was saying, once the thread lock's cured, I'll fold those over. And while that's curing, I will go in the house on the computer and take a look at which direction it's supposed to scoop the oil. It's based on the direction of the motor or the crankshaft rotation. So wasn't paying attention to that detail. This metal that I used is a touch thicker than the factory part, so I'm hoping it'll not break off like it did before, but who knows. I'm sure someone out there will tell me I should have stuck with the factory part, but this is how she's getting put together. I suspect it's supposed to scoop that way as opposed to dragging through. I think it'll pull through, but I'm not going to make any assumptions until I go and look it up on the internet. So I'm going to go take a look at that, and then I'll be back. Alright folks, well it's the next night, and I did a little bit of digging online, and I didn't come up with the answers that I was looking for these rods. But then I realized, being that this is a V-twin engine, or V-twin compressor, these can only go in one way with these. If it were to go in this way, and that's going around and around, I don't think it's going to splash properly, and it's going to hit stuff. So it's got to go in this way so that the little finger is pointing downwards. So I kind of answered my own question there. So now what I'm going to do then is start assembling. I cleaned out all the oil inside, all the old oil, and I am going to get these studs all cleaned up because they need to go back into the base. Now, like I had mentioned earlier, I'm still missing a gasket. So I'm going to try my luck on the base here and just use some RTV sealant and see if it holds up. And worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, I have to take it apart, and once my back order gasket comes in, I can put it back together with the gaskets. And another thing I noticed while I was cleaning this up is all these holes had RTV in them in order to seal them up so you don't get any leakage. So I'll have to do that as well. I'm going to clean up these studs on the wire wheel, go find my RTV, and start assembling and see how far I get tonight. I probably won't talk too much anymore, so you can just kind of watch along as I try to get this back together. Now I know this is probably not the best thing to use on these bolts, 'cause it's going to act as a thread lock as well, but it's all I've got. I don't have any proper thread sealant as such, so I'm going to take a risk. And I'm already taking it apart because I forgot to put some RTV on the old gasket. Forgot to do this surface. Just gonna use just a bit. The old gasket would probably seal, and that's a gasket I did not order. But I suspect that'll do just fine. And also, you got to make sure the way these cylinders are spaced, this one's offset towards the front, so that means that rod has to go on first. And I'll put the back bearing. The only way I can think of to get the other bearing on is to put it in after the fact. I'm assuming that's why they leave this hole, so I get this side bolted up. I can if I have to use the press to press that bearing in, I will, carefully, so that I don't bend the crankshaft. Pretty sure it's going to be a two-parter. I'm not going to get this all done tonight. It's going to be at least a two-parter. I got a 3D printer for Christmas that I've been mucking around with. I'll have to make a video of that. 3D printer kit I had to put together, and I got a print going right now, kind of a test print and a gadget for a coworker who was kind of interested in seeing what she would do. And I'm missing a washer. Should be one of these guys. Yep. Probably what I'll do is I'll get this bottom end without the pistons in it together. I'm gonna probably shut her down there. Now I'm not gonna suck these down too tight. End up squeezing all the RTV out. I'll let the RTV set, and then I'll come back and tighten them up after. So now this is the part that I'm a little concerned about. Sorry about the racket in the background, the darn cats. But I've already cleaned this bearing out. But the trick is now to get it into here straight. I'm not sure how I want to do this. May use the press and hopefully have it line up, or I may just give it the tappy. Not sure I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this in and shut her down for the night, and part 2 will be me putting the top end together. So until then, take care and talk to you later. Okay, I said that was the end of the video here, but I just wanted to show you I got the bearing pressed in. I used a big socket in my hydraulic press. The socket fit perfectly on the outside race. You always want to make sure you press on the outside race. Or in this situation I wanted to press on the outside race. And she spins. So it's good to go. I think I may have to give her a little tappy, but I think she should be good to go. I think this bearing here is a little bit sticky, but I'll have to throw some oil in there. Now I should have a plate. Throw this guy on. A little bit RTV as well. Looks like all these holes had RTV. This should fit flush. It does. That's a good sign. Means I got the bearing in far enough. And a few screws. 4, I guess. And I only see 3 here. Uh-oh. That's not good. But in any case, you get the idea. So I'm going to, like I say, for sure this time this is the end of the video. So until part 2, take care and talk to you later.